The day of the fashion competition dawned bright and clear, yet Ethan felt a storm of emotions brewing within him. He had spent the last few weeks pouring his heart into his designs, fueled by both anxiety and determination. As he stood in front of the mirror, he adjusted the collar of his tailored shirt, glancing at the sketch of his collection taped to the wall. His phone buzzed beside him, and he quickly grabbed it, his heart racing when he saw Liam's name on the screen. The message was simple but encouraging. "You've got this. I'll be there front row to cheer you on. Break a leg." Ethan felt a rush of warmth at Liam's words. They had been inseparable since their heartfelt coffee meeting, and Liam's support had become his anchor. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his nerves slowly ease. With one last glance in the mirror, he grabbed his bag and headed out, ready to face the day. At the venue, the atmosphere was electric. Designers buzzed around, arranging their displays and double-checking their models' outfits. The auditorium was filled with an array of vibrant colors, textures, and fabrics, showcasing the creativity of each participant. Ethan's heart raced as he took in the grandeur of it all, feeling a mix of excitement and intimidation. "Ethan!" Mia called out, running toward him with a bright smile. "You're going to do amazing. I can feel it." "Thanks, Mia," Ethan replied, trying to muster confidence. "I just hope the judges see what I see in my designs." "You've worked so hard. Just remember to enjoy it," she said, giving his arm a reassuring squeeze. "And don't forget, I'll be in the audience too, cheering you on." As the event began, Ethan took a moment to observe the crowd. The judges were a mix of fashion moguls and critics, their discerning eyes scanning the room as they prepared to evaluate the designs. He spotted Liam in the front row, his face illuminated with excitement. Their eyes locked for a moment, and Ethan felt a surge of encouragement wash over him. The lights dimmed and the show commenced. The first few designers showcased their collections, and Ethan watched intently, noting both their strengths and weaknesses. But as the minutes passed, the anticipation began to build within him. He could feel the butterflies in his stomach as his turn approached. When it was finally his moment to shine, Ethan took a deep breath and stepped backstage, ready to present his collection. The lights brightened, and he stood in the wings, the sound of music pulsing through the air. The runway stretched out before him like a dream, and he could feel the energy of the audience vibrating through the floor. "Remember," he whispered to himself, "this is your moment." As his models stepped onto the runway, Ethan felt a wave of pride. Each piece he had designed was not just fabric and thread. They were expressions of his journey, his struggles, and his heart. The audience reacted positively, gasps of admiration rippling through the crowd as the models showcased the intricacies of his collection. Ethan watched as one of the models flaunted a flowing gown adorned with hand-stitched embroidery, a piece he had poured countless hours into perfecting. The colors danced under the lights, creating a mesmerizing effect. Liam's gaze was fixed on the runway, his face lighting up with delight every time one of Ethan's designs appeared. Then, as the show progressed, something unexpected happened. A prominent fashion critic, known for her harsh reviews, leaned in to whisper something to a colleague. Ethan's heart sank when he saw her grimace as one of his pieces passed by. The moment felt like a cold splash of water, bringing with it a wave of doubt. After what felt like an eternity, the final model walked off the runway, and the crowd erupted into applause. Ethan took a moment to soak it all in, relief flooding through him. He had done it. His collection had been showcased. But the uncertainty lingered, and as he waited backstage, he couldn't shake the feeling of dread that had settled in his stomach. When the judges announced the winners, Ethan stood with his breath held, anticipation coursing through his veins. "And the winner of this year's fashion competition is—" The host's voice rang out, filling the auditorium with excitement. Ethan's heart raced as he listened intently, every word echoing in his mind. But when the winner's name was called, Ethan's heart dropped. It was another designer, one he had admired but felt overshadowed by. The applause was deafening, and a knot of disappointment twisted in Ethan's stomach. He forced a smile, trying to join in the applause for the winner, but it felt hollow. The validation he had hoped for seemed just out of reach, leaving him feeling defeated. After the show, as the crowd began to disperse, Ethan stood alone in the corner, his heart heavy. The exhilaration of the moment had been overshadowed by the sting of rejection. He fought back tears, questioning if he would ever find success in the cutthroat world of fashion. "Ethan?" A familiar voice broke through his thoughts. It was Liam making his way toward him through the crowd. "There you are. You were incredible. I loved every piece." "Thanks," Ethan replied, forcing a smile, though it didn't quite reach his eyes. "But it doesn't matter now. I didn't win." Liam's expression shifted to one of concern. "Ethan, winning isn't everything. You poured your heart into those designs, and they were stunning. You have a gift, and people notice that." "Did they?" Ethan replied, his voice shaky. "The judges seemed unimpressed, and that critic—" He swallowed hard, his emotions threatening to spill over. "What if I'm just not cut out for this?" Liam stepped closer, his presence warm and reassuring. "You are cut out for this. You've inspired me and everyone else who saw your work. One competition doesn't define your talent or your future." Ethan looked into Liam's eyes, searching for the truth in his words. "What if this is just the beginning of a long string of failures?" "Then it's a long string of opportunities to grow and improve," Liam countered gently. "You can't let one setback determine your worth. You're not just a designer. You're an artist. Keep creating. I believe in you." The sincerity in Liam's voice reached into Ethan's heart, melting the icy grip of doubt that had taken hold. Ethan felt a flicker of hope reignite within him, realizing that his journey wasn't defined by one competition. "I don't want to lose sight of why I love fashion," Ethan admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "I just wanted this moment to prove I belong." "You belong wherever you create," Liam replied, his tone soft yet firm. "Let's celebrate your hard work instead of focusing on the outcome. You've come so far, Ethan, and I want to be part of your journey." Ethan felt a swell of gratitude wash over him. Liam's unwavering support reminded him that he wasn't alone in this fight. They stood together in the aftermath of the competition, the buzzing crowd fading into the background. With newfound determination, Ethan nodded. "You're right. I need to remember why I started in the first place. This is just the beginning." "Exactly," Liam smiled, a bright light in the dimming chaos around them. "Now, let's get some food and celebrate. You've earned it." As they walked out of the venue together, Ethan felt the weight of his disappointment lift. It wasn't the end. It was merely a stepping stone on his path. With Liam by his side, he felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And for the first time that day, Ethan smiled genuinely, excitement bubbling within him for the journey that still awaited.